Hi, this is Goich. Welcome to the Doorway to the Word. Well, today is a brief history of Christianity, episode 12, the Reformation, part 3. Well, in previous two episodes, we talked about Protestant Reformation storming through the Europe, the spreading rapidly, changing the face of Christianity. Well, all those changes happening in the church, and people are protesting against Catholic Church. Catholic Church began doing something. They acted response to those Protestant reformations, which is called the Counter-Reformation of Catholic Church. And it was conducted by Council of Trent in 1545 till 63. And they aimed in two things. First thing they aimed at was to combat the spread of the Protestantism. Well, it solidified, actually, Catholic doctrine that many Protestants were opposed to, such as the authority of the Pope and veneration of the saints, and so on. Well, Roman Catholic Church, they thought, well, they're against our doctrines, let's make it clear to people. That's what they did. So, solidified the Catholic doctrine. Well, another thing they did to prevent the spread of Protestantism in Europe was the Roman Catholic Inquisition, to condemn and suppress the spread of the Protestants. They began Inquisition. Basically, it's a form of a witch hunt against the Protestant. Often that involved the political and military means or directly against Protestant. And one of the famous episodes was trial of Galileo in 1610. The Galileo, the scientist, he supported the theory of Earth and other planets revolving around the sun. And this view was considered heretic by the Catholic Church, the conflict between science and religion. So that was a part of Roman Catholic Inquisition. Well, another aim for this, the Counter-Reformation, the Council of Trent, was to reform inside the Catholic Church itself. Well, they eliminated many of the abuse and problems that had initially inspired the Reformation, such as sale of indulgence. They stopped that, free ticket to heaven. And also they allied with a group called Jesuits, the religious order that founded in 1534, who swore special obedience to the Pope to uphold the reputation of the Catholic Church. Jesuits. The Jesuits helped carry out two major objectives of this Counter-Reformation, which is the Catholic education and missionary work. Jesuits, they established the numerous schools and universities throughout Europe, helping maintain the relevance of Catholic Church in increasing secular Protestant societies. And with the colonization of the new worlds, all those places in the world, they established a mission and throughout those Latin America and Asia and so on, to win converts among the indigenous people. Actually, Jesuits went as far as Japan. The Japanese Christianity almost began with their missionaries. Isn't it interesting? You see, the Counter-Reformation of Catholic Church did not stop the spread of the Protestantism in Europe and beyond, but through these reformations, both Protestant and the Counter, some doctrines and practices of the Catholic Church was reformed and clarified. Also, the global missionaries sent through this time contributed the spread of Catholic faith to the other part of the world. So there were the good bits there as well. So that's what the Catholic Church did in response to Protestant reformations. Well, around this time, the Reformation is going on. There are a few notable events happens. So I'm gonna give you about 3 notable events we should know during this time. The other notable events around this time was in 1525, a man called William Tyndale or Tyndale translated the New Testament into English from Greek. He was influenced by Martin Luther for the Reformation idea and to begin translate the Bible in his own language, which is English. Well, Tyndale's translation was the first of many aspects. His Bible was the first English Bible to draw directly from Hebrews and Greek texts, not from Latin. And his Bible was the first English translation to take advantage of printing press. And his Bible was the first of the new English Bible of the Reformation. Remember, the Martin Luther's translation was German. Tyndale, his Bible was the first one in English for the Reformation. And his Bible was the first English translation to use word Jehovah, name Jehovah, as God's name. William Tyndale, he was captured in Antwerp. It's a Flemish territory of Catholic King Charles V of the Holy Roman Empire. And he was condemned for the heresy, and he was executed by strangulation and then burned at the stake in 1536. Well, another notable event happened in 1611. The authorized, or King James translation as it known, of the Bible in the English language was published. 54 scholars worked for 4 years on this project to complete. So, authorized King James Version Bible was published in England in 1611. Oh well, one more important event happened at this point. In 1620, it's called separatists sailed to America on a boat called Mayflower. In 1620, there are a group of people called separatists, also known as Puritans, who wanted more radical change in the Church of England. They saw the Church of England, their practice was very much similar to Catholic Church, and they thought, what's the point? They just like Catholic Church. We don't want that. So they decided to separate themselves from the Church of England and headed for the new land, America, to live their ideal ways. That happened around this time, 1620. Puritans sailed to America on Mayflower. Well, long domination of Catholic Church, the 1,000 years of it, came to an end, and a new movement, Protestantism, has emerged in Christian society, Christian history. Meanwhile, in a secular society, they're also witnessing new movements birthing as a result of encountering new world. As I mentioned, age of discovery, the Renaissance, age of colonization, and scientific revolution, and importantly, the age of enlightenment in 17th century. All those things, that changes are happening in society, especially in Europe at that time. And in next few episodes, we will look at the Christianity in the new modern era Europe, which including America as well, how these social changes influenced and related to the Christianity. So up until then, God bless, goodbye.